Oh well, Tom Mouse. Happy anniversary. 2 years, that's a big number. I thought because you do work in Elf Africa and you have your like headphones on, you use the podcast, whatever, I don't know. But I thought I could read you a little book. So, do you remember like the other night you were like, oh, it's like this is when you had conjunctivitis, and I was trying to be like, Tom, what book would you want to read? Because I was trying to pick like a book like that you'd actually want to read instead of just like one I picked for you. Anywho, but then you're like, I don't care. Um, so I did some researches by my lonesome. So I've picked for us Project Hail Mary, and it's by the guy who wrote The Martian. I thought brilliant. Also, it's being made into a movie which comes out next year, and the main guy in the movie is Ryan Gosling, and you know I don't like Ryan Gosling that much. I feel like he's a little creepy. Anyways, but we're gonna watch the movie next year, by the way. If I can read this book, and if you listen to it, then we'll both be like caught up. Yeah, I'll go from the start. I don't know how I'm gonna do those recordings because I feel like I'll do like one chapter in each recording, but I like checked it's like 30 chapters, so I don't know. It'll be like 30 recordings. You'll like it hopefully. Um, wait, what are the Beatles names? Because I'm just checking like because they've got the dedication bits at the start of the book. So I got it here on the Kindle. So for John, Paul, George, and Ringo, is that the Beatles? What are their names? Because there's like Ringo Starr. That's one. That's the only one I can think of, babe. I know there's a George in there. George had, I don't know. John John Lennon, and Paul McCartney. Yeah, that's the Beatles, babe. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so there's a diagram. It says thrust configuration. So it looks like it's a rocket ship. I don't know. I don't know how I'm meant to be doing this in the podcast. Um, so there's a little diagram. It says thrust configuration. There is a picture of like a rocket. I don't know. Just ask me to show you the picture. I'll send it to you. I'll go from like top to bottom. So it looks like a rocket. The top says Beatles. That's like in the very top, like pointy little bit. And this is control room, airlock, lab, ladder, dormitory, cable, ladder, storage, cable, something, cable fairing. Oh my god, babe, I'm really bad at reading. You know I'm really bad at reading out loud. So with special needs. Storage, cable, fairing, I think that is. Um, don't know. And direction of artificial gravity experienced due to engine thrust. So it's pointing like down. There's fuel tanks and spin drives. There we go. That's the rocket diagram. Oh my god, another diagram. Okay. It says thrust. Okay. Just ask me to send you these because I don't know how to explain it. It's just like diagrams of rockets. Okay, chapter one. Chapter one. Hang on. I want to see how long it's gonna be. Okay, we got this. We got this. Chapter one. I'm gonna start. I don't know how to do the voices. Okay, I'll just read it in my normal voice and we can play pretend. It says, "What's 2 plus 2?" Something about the question irritates me. I'm tired. I drift. I'm starting again. Okay. What's 2 plus 2? Something about the question irritates me. I'm tired. I drift back to sleep. A few minutes pass. Then I hear it again. What's 2 plus 2? The soft feminine voice lacks emotion and the pronunciation is identical to the previous time she said it. It's a computer. A computer is hassling me. I'm even more irritated now. I say. I'm surprised. I meant to say, leave me alone. A completely reasonable response in my opinion, but I failed to speak. Incorrect, said the computer. What's 2 plus 2? Time for an experiment. I'll try to say hello. Right, I say. Incorrect. What's 2 plus 2? What's going on? I want to find out, but I don't have much to work with. I can't see. I can't hear anything other than the computer. I can't even feel. No, that's not true. I feel something. I'm lying down. I'm on something soft. A bed? I think my eyes are closed. That's not so bad. All I have to do is open them. I try, but nothing happens. Why can't I open my eyes? Open. And open. Open. Dang it. Woo! I felt a wiggle that time. My eyelids moved. I felt it. Open. My eyelids creep up and blinding light sears my retinas. I say. I keep my eyes open with sheer force of will. Everything is white with shades of pain. Eye movement detected. My tormentor says, "What's 2 plus 2?" The whiteness lessens. My eyes are adjusting. I start to see shapes, but nothing sensible yet. Let's see. Can I move my hands? No. Feet? Also no. But I can move my mouth, right? I've been saying stuff. Not stuff that makes sense, but it's something. Incorrect. What's 2 plus 2? The shapes start to make sense. I'm in a bed. It's kind of like oval shaped. LED lights shine down on me. Cameras in the ceiling watch my every move. Creepy though that is, I'm much more concerned about the robot arms. The 2 brushed steel armatures hanging from the ceiling. Each has an assortment of disturbingly penetration-looking tools where hands should be. I can't say I like the look of it. I say, will that do? Incorrect. What's 2 plus 2? Dang it. I summon all my willpower and inner strength. Also, I'm starting to panic a little. Good. I use that too. 4. I finally say. Correct. Thank God. I can talk. Sort of. I breathe a sigh of relief. Wait, I just controlled my breathing. I take another breath, on purpose. My mouth is sore. My throat is sore, but it's my soreness. I have control. I wear a breathing mask. It's tight to my face and connected to a hose that goes behind my head. Can I get up? No. But I can move my head a little. Look down at my body. I'm naked. Oh my god. And connected to more tubes that I can count. There's one on each arm, one on each leg, one in my gentleman's equipment, and 2 other under my thigh. I'm guessing one of them is up where the sun doesn't shine. That can't be good. Also, I'm covered in electrodes, the sensor type stickers, like for an EKG, but they're all over the place. Well, at least they're only my skin instead of jammed into me. I wheeze. I try it again. Where am I? What's a cube root of 8? The computer asks. Where am I? I say again. This time it's easier. Incorrect. What's a cube root of 8? I take a deep breath and speak slowly. 2 times e to the 2i pi. Incorrect. What's the cube root of 8? I wasn't incorrect. I just wanted to see how smart the computer was. Answer. Not very. 2, I say. Correct. I listen for follow-up questions, but the computer seems satisfied. I'm tired. I drift off to sleep again. I wake up. How long was I out? It must have been a while because I feel rested. I open my eyes without any effort. That's progress. I try to move my fingers. They wiggle as instructed. Alright. Now we're getting somewhere. Hand movement detected, says the computer. Remain still. What? Why? The robot arms come for me. They move fast. Before I know it, they've removed most of the tubes from my body. I don't feel a thing, though my skin is kind of numb anyways. Only 3 tubes remain. An IV in my arm, a tube up my butt, and a catheter. Those latter 2 are kind of my signature items I want removed, but okay. I raise my arm and let it fall back onto the bed. I do the same for my left. They feel heavy as heck. I repeat the process a few times. My arms are muscular. That doesn't make sense. I shouldn't have done. I've had some massive medical procedure, and I've been in this bed for a while. Otherwise, why would they have me hooked up to all this stuff? Shouldn't there be muscle atrophy? Or shouldn't there be doctors? Maybe the sounds of a hospital? And what's with this bed? It's not a rectangle, it's an oval, and I think it's mounted to the wall instead of the floor. Take. I trail off. Still kind of tired. Take the tubes out. The computer doesn't respond. I do a few more arm lifts, wiggle my toes. I'm definitely getting better. I tilt my ankles back and forth. They're working. I raise my knees up. My legs are well toned too. Not my body. Not body builder fit, but still too heavy for someone on the verge of death. I'm not sure how thick they should be though. I press my palms to the bed and push. My torso rises. I'm actually getting up. It takes all of my strength, but I soldier on. The bed rocks gently as I move. It's not a normal bed, that's for sure. As I raise my head higher up, I see The head and foot of the elliptical bed are attached to strong-looking wall mounts. It's kind of a rigid hammock. Weird. Soon. It said weird in the book, I didn't just make that up. Soon I'm sitting on my butt tube. Not the most comfortable sensation, but when is a tube up your butt ever comfortable? I have a better view of things now. This is no ordinary hospital room. The walls look plastic and the whole room is round. Stark white light comes from the ceiling mounted LED lights. There are two more hammock-like beds mounted to the wall, each with their own patient. They are arranged in a triangle, and the roof-mounted arms of harassment are in the center of the ceiling. I guess they take care of all three of us. I can't see much of my compadres. They've sunken into their beds like I had. There's no door, just a ladder on the wall leading to a hatch. It's round and it has a wheel handle in the center. Yeah, looks like it's got to be some kind of hatch, like on a submarine. Maybe the three of us have a contagious disease. Maybe this is an airtight quarantine room. There are some small vents here and there on the wall that I feel a little airflow. It could be a controlled environment. I slide one leg over the edge of my bed, which makes it wobble. The robot arms rush towards me. I flinch, but they stop short and hover nearby. I think they're ready to grab me if I fall. Full body motion detected, the computer says. What's your name? Pfft, seriously, I ask. Incorrect. Attempt number 2. What's your name? I open my mouth to answer. Incorrect. Attempt number 3. What's your name? Only now does it occur to me. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I do. I don't remember anything at all. I say, incorrect. A wave of fatigue grips me. It's kind of pleasant, actually. The computer must have sedated me through the IV line. Wait, I mumble. The robot arms lay me gently back down to bed. I wake up again. One of the robot arms is in my face. What is it doing? I shudder, more shocked than anything else. The arm retracts back to its home in the ceiling. I feel my face for damage. One side has stubble and the other is smooth. You were shaving me? Consciousness detected, the computer says. What's your name? I still don't know. Incorrect. Attempt number 2. What's your name? I'm Caucasian. A male. I speak English. Let's play the odds. John? Incorrect. Attempt number 3. What's your name? I pull out the IV on my arm. Bite me. Incorrect. The computer arms reach for me. I roll off the bed, which is a mistake. The other tubes are still connected. The butt tube comes right out. It doesn't even hurt. The still inflated catheter yanks right out of my penis. And that does hurt. It's like peeing a golf ball. I scream and rise on the floor. Physical distress, says the computer. The arms give chase. I crawl along the floor to escape. I get under one of the other beds. The arms stop short, but they don't give up. They wait. They're run by a computer. It's not like they'll run out of patience. I let my head fall back and gasp for breath. After a while, the pain subsides and I wipe tears from my eyes. I have no idea what's going on here. Hey, I call out. One of you, wake up. What's your name? The computer asks. One of you humans, wake up, please. Incorrect, the computer says. My crotch hurts so bad, I have to laugh. It's just so absurd. Plus, the endorphins are kicking in and making me giddy. I look back at the catheter by my bunk. I shake my head in awe. That thing went through my urethra. Wow. And it did some damage on the way out. A little streak of blood sits on the ground, a thin red line of. I sipped my coffee, popped the last fragment of toast in my mouth, and signaled the waitress for my check. Okay, switch up. Alright. I could have saved money by eating breakfast at home instead of going to a diner every morning. Probably would have been a good idea considering my meager salary, but I hate cooking and I love eggs and bacon. The waitress nodded and walked over to the cash register to ring me up, but another customer came in to be seated right at that moment. I checked my watch. Just past 7 a.m. No rush. I like to get into work by 7:20 so I could have time to prepare for the day, but I didn't actually need to be there till late. I pulled out my phone and checked my email. 2. Astronomy curiosities at I don't even know what it says. It's like skylist.org. Okay. It's just letters, bro. From Irina Petrova, PhD. Petrova at Garund.ru. Subject: the thin red line. I frowned at the screen. I thought I'd unsubscribed from that list. I left that life a long time ago. It didn't get a lot of volume, and sorry, I'll lock in. It didn't get a lot of volume, and what it did get from memory serve was usually pretty interesting. Just a bunch of astronomers, astrophysicists, and other domain experts chatting about anything that struck them as odd. I glanced at the waitress. The customer had a bunch of questions about the menu. Probably asked if Sally's Diner served gluten-free, vegan, glowing grass clippings or something. The good people of San Francisco could be trying at times. With nothing better to do, I read the email. Hello, professionals. My name is Dr. Irina Petrova, and I work at the Pavlovian Observatory in St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm writing to you to ask for help. For the past 2 years, I've been working on a theory related to infrared emissions from nebulae. As a result, I have made detailed observations in a few specific IR bands of light, and I have found something odd. Not in any nebula, but here in our own solar system. There is a very faint but detectable line of solar system that emits infrared light at the 25.984 micron wavelength. It seems to be solely that wavelength with no variance, attached to Excel spreadsheets with my data. I have also provided a few renders of the data as a 3D model. You will see the model on the model that the line is lopsided arc that rises straight up from the sun's north pole for 37 million kilometers. From there, it angles sharply down and away from the sun towards Venus. After the arc's apex, the cloud widens like a funnel. At Venus, the arc's cross-section is as wide as the planet itself. The infrared glow is very faint. I was only able to detect it because I was using extremely sensitive detection equipment while searching for IR emissions from nebulae. But to be certain, I called in a favor from the Atacama Observatory in Chile, and in my opinion, the best IR observatory in the world. They confirmed my findings. There are many reasons one might see IR light in interplanetary space. It could be space dust or other particles reflecting sunlight, or some molecular compound could be absorbing energy and re-emitting it in the infrared band. That would even explain why it's all the same wavelength. The shape of the arc is of particular interest. My first guess was that it is a collection of moving particles moving to along magnetic field lines. But Venus has no magnetic field to speak of. No magnetosphere, no ionosphere, nothing. What forces would make particles arc toward it? And why would they glow? Any suggestions or theories would be welcome. What the heck was that? I remembered it all at once. It just kind of showed up in my head without warning. I didn't learn much about myself. I live in San Francisco. I remember that. And I like breakfast. Also, I used to be into astronomy, but now I'm not. Apparently, my brain decided it was critical that I remembered that email, not trivial things like my own name. My subconscious wants to tell me something. I see the line of blood must remind me of the thin red line title of that email. But what's that got to do with me? I shimmy out from under the bed and sit up against the wall. The arms angle towards me, but I still can't reach. Time to get a look at my fellow patients. I don't know who I am or why I'm here, but at least I'm not alone. And they're dead. Yes, definitely dead. The one closest to me was a woman, I think. At least she had long hair. Other than that, she's mostly a mummy. Desiccated skin draped over bones. There's no smell. Nothing's actively rotting. She must have died a long time ago. The person in the other bed was a man. I think he's been dead even longer. His skin is not only dry and leathery, but also crumbling away. Okay, so here I am with two dead people. I should be disgusted or horrified, but I'm not. They're so far gone they don't even look human. They look like Halloween decorations. I hope I wasn't close friends with either of them, or if I was, I hope I don't remember it. Dead people is a concern, but I'm more concerned they've been here so long. Even a quarantine area would remove dead people, wouldn't they? What's wrong? It must be pretty darn bad. I get to my feet. It's slow and it takes a lot of effort. I steady myself at the edge of Miss Mummy's bed. It wobbles and I wobble with it, but I stay upright. The robot arms make a play for me, but I flatten myself against the wall again. I'm pretty sure I was in a coma. Yeah, the more I think of it, it was definitely a coma. I don't know how long I've been there, but if I was put here at the same time as my roommates. It's been a while. I rubbed my half-shaved face. Those long arms are designed to manage long-term unconsciousness. More evidence I was in a coma. Maybe I can get to the hatch. I take a step, then another, then I sink to the floor. It's just too much for me. I have to rest. Why am I so weak when I have these well-toned muscles? And if I was in a coma, why do I even have muscles? I should be withered. I should be a withered, spindly mess right now, not beach bod buff. I have no idea what my end game is. What should I do? Am I really sick? I mean, I feel like crud, of course, but I don't feel sick. I'm not nauseated. I don't have a headache. I don't think I have a fever. If I don't have a disease, why was I in a coma? Physical injury? I feel around my head. No lumps or scars or bandages. The rest of my body seems pretty solid too. Better than solid. I'm ripped. I want to nod off, but I resist it. Time to take another stab at this. I push myself back up. It's like weightlifting, but it's easier this time. I'm recovering more and more, I hope. I shuffle along the wall, the wall, the wall, using my back for support as much as my feet. The arms constantly reach for me, but I stay out of range. I pant and wheeze. I feel like I've run a marathon. Maybe I have a lung infection. Maybe I'm in isolation for my own protection. I finally make my way to the ladder. I stumble forward and grab one of the rungs. I'm just so weak. How am I going to climb a 10-foot ladder? 10-foot ladder. I think in imperial units. That's a clue. I'm probably American. Or English. Or maybe a Canadian. Canadians use feet and inches for short distances. I ask myself, how far is it from LA to New York? My gut answer is 3,000 miles. A Canadian would have used kilometers. So I'm English or American. Or I'm from Liberia. I know Liberia uses imperial units, but I don't know my name. That's irritating. I take a deep breath. I hang onto the ladder with both hands and put my foot on the bottom rung. I pull myself up. It's a shaky process, but I get it done. Both my feet are on the lower rung now. I reach up and grab the next rung. Okay, making progress. I feel like my whole body is made of lead. Everything is so much effort. I try to pull myself up, but my hand just isn't strong enough. I fall backward off the ladder. This is gonna hurt. It doesn't hurt. The robot arms catch me before I hit the ground because they fell into grabbing range. They don't miss a beat. They return me to my bed and settle me in like a mother putting her child to sleep. You know what? This is fine. I'm really tired at this point, and lying down kind of works for me. The gentle rocking of the bed is comforting. Something bugs me about how I fell off the ladder. I replay it in my head. I just can't put my finger on it. There's just a wrongness to it. I drift off. Eat. There's a toothpaste tube on my chest. Huh? Eat, the computer says again. I lift the tube. It's white with black text that reads day 1, meal 1. The heck is this? I say. Eat. I unscrew the cap and smell something savory. My mouth waters at the prospect. Only now do I realize how hungry I am. I squeeze the tube, and disgusting looking brown sludge comes out. Eat. Who might question a creepy robot-armed computer overlord? I cautiously lick the substance. Oh my god, it's good. It's so good. It's like a thick gravy, but not too rich. I squeeze more straight into my mouth and savor it. I swear it's better than sex. I know what's going on here. They say hunger is the greatest seasoning. When you're starving, your brain rewards you handsomely for finally eating. Good job, it says. We're not going to die for a while. The pieces fall into place. If I was in a coma for that long, I must have been getting fed. I didn't have an abdominal tube when I woke up, so it was probably feeding me with an NG tube running down my esophagus. It's the least intrusive way to feed a patient who can't eat but has no digestion issues. Plus, it keeps the digestive system active and healthy. It explains why the tube wasn't around when I woke up. If possible, you should remove an NG tube while the patient is still unconscious. Why do I know that? Am I a doctor? I squeeze another shot of gravy goo into my mouth. It's delicious. I gobble it down. Seeing the tube is empty, I hold it up. More of this. Meal complete. I'm still hungry. Give me another tube. Food allotment for this meal has been met. It makes sense. My digestive system is getting used to semi-southern food right now. Best to take it easy. If I eat as much as I want, I'll probably get sick. The computer is doing the right thing. Give me more food. No one cares about the right way when they're hungry. Food allotment for this meal has been met. Bah! Still, I feel a ton better than I did before. The food energized me on the spot, plus I've had more rest. I roll out of bed, ready to make a break for the wall. But my arms don't chase me. I guess I'm allowed out of bed now that I've proven I can eat. I look down at my naked body. This just doesn't feel right. I know only the people around are dead, but still. Can I have clothes? The computer says nothing. Fine, be that way. I pull a sheet off the bed and wrap it around my torso a couple of times. I pull one corner over my shoulder from behind my back and tie it to another in front. Instant toga. Self-ambulation detected, says the computer. What's your name? I'm Emperor Comatose. Kneel before me. Incorrect. Time to see what's up the ladder. I'm a little unsteady, but I walk across the room. This is a victory in itself. I don't need wobbly beds or walls to cling to. I'm on my own 2 feet. I make it to the ladder and grab hold. I don't need something to hang on to, but it sure makes life easier. The hatch above looks pretty darn solid. I assume it's airtight. And there's every chance it's locked, but I at least have to try. I climb up one rung, tough, but doable. Another rung. Okay, I have the hang of this. Slow and steady. I make it to the hatch. I hang onto the ladder with one hand and turn the hatch's circular crank with the other. It actually turns. Holy moly, I say. Holy moly? Is that my go-to expression of surprise? I mean, it's okay, I guess. What I would have expected something a little less 1950s. What kind of weirdo am I? I turn the crank 3 full rotations and hear a click. The hatch tilts downward, and I get out of the way. It falls open, suspended by its hefty hinge. I'm free, sort of. Beyond the hatch, there's just darkness, a little intimidating, but at least it's progress. I reach into the new room and pull myself up onto the floor. Lights click on as soon as I enter. Presumably, the computer's doing. The room looks to be the same size and shape as the one I left. Another round room. One large table. A lab table from the look of it. It's mounted to the floor. 3 lab stools are mounted nearby. All around the walls are pieces of lab equipment, all of it mounted to tables or benches that are bolted to the floor. It's like the room is ready for a catastrophic earthquake. A ladder along the wall leads to another hatch in the ceiling. I'm in a well-stocked laboratory. Since when do isolation wards let patients into the lab? And this doesn't look like a medical lab either. What the fudge is going on? Fudge? Seriously? Maybe I have young kids, or I'm deeply religious. I stand to get a better look at things. The lab has small equipment bolted to the table. I see an 8,000 times microscope, an autoclave, a bank of test tubes, sets of supply drawers, a sample fridge, a furnace, pipettes. Wait a minute. Why do I know these terms? I look at the larger equipment along the wall. Scanning electron microscope, submillimeter 3D printer, 11-axis milling machine, laser interferometer, 1 cubic meter vacuum chamber. I know what everything is, and I know how to use it. I'm a scientist. Now we're getting somewhere. Time for me to use science. Alright, genius brain, come up with something. I'm hungry. You failed me, brain. Okay, well, I have no idea why this lab is here or why I'm allowed in it, but onward. The hatch in the ceiling is 10 feet off the ground. It's going to be another ladder adventure. At least I'm stronger now. I take a few deep breaths and start climbing the ladder. Same as before. This simple act is a massive effort. I may be getting better, but I'm not well. Good lord, I'm heavy. I make it to the top, but only just. I situate myself on the uncomfortable bars and push the hatch's handle. It doesn't budge. To unlock the hatch, state your name, says the computer. But I don't know my name. Incorrect. I smack the handle with the palm of my hand. The handle doesn't move, and now the palm of my hand hurts. So, yeah, not fruitful. This will have to wait. Maybe I'll remember my name soon. Or find it written somewhere. I climb back down the ladder. At least, that's my plan. You'd think going down would be easier and safer than going up, but no. Instead of gracefully descending the ladder, I put my foot on the next rung. I put my foot on the next rung down at an awkward angle, lose my grip on the hatch handle, and fall like an idiot. I flail like an angry cat, reaching out for anything I can grasp. Turns out that's a terrible idea. I fall onto the table and smack a set of supply drawers with my shin. It hurts like a mother fluffer. I cry out, grab my shin in pain, accidentally roll off the table. I fall to the floor. No robot arms catch me this time. I land on my back and it knocks the wind out of me. Then, adding insult to injury, the supply drawer unit falls over, the drawers open, and lab supplies rain down upon me. The cotton swabs aren't a problem. The test tubes are just kind of hurt a little, and surprisingly don't shatter. And the tape measure smacks me square in the forehead. More stuff clatters down, but I'm too busy holding the growing welt on my forehead to notice. How heavy is a tape measure? A 3-foot fall off a table left a bump on my head. That did not work. I say to no one. The whole experience was ridiculous. Like something out of a Charlie Chaplin movie. Actually, it really was like that. A little too much like that. The same feeling of wrongness strikes me. I grab a nearby test tube and toss it into the air. It goes up and comes down like it should, but it annoys me. Something about falling objects ticks me off right now. I want to know why. What do I have to work with? Well, I have an entire laboratory and I know how to use it. But what's readily at hand? I look at all the junk that fell on the floor, a bunch of test tubes, sample swabs, popsicle sticks, a digital stopwatch, pipettes, some scotch tape, a pen. Okay, I may have what I need here. I get back to my feet and dust off my toga. There's no dust on it. My whole world seems really clean and sterile, but I do the motions just the same. I pick up the tape measure and take a look. It's metric. Maybe I'm in Europe? Whatever. Then I grab the stopwatch. It's pretty sturdy, like something you'd take on a hike. It has a solid plastic shell with a hard rubber ring around it. Undoubtedly weatherproof, but also dead as a doornail. The LCD screen is completely blank. I press a few buttons, but nothing happens. I turn it over to look at the battery compartment. Maybe I can find a drawer with batteries in it if I know what kind it needs. I spot a little plastic red ribbon coming out of the back. I give it a pull and it comes out entirely. The stopwatch beeps to life. Kind of like batteries included toys. The little plastic tab was there to keep the battery from running down before the owner uses it for the first time. Okay, this is a brand spanking new stopwatch. Honestly, everything in this lab looks brand new. Clean, tidy, no signs of wear. I'm not sure what to make of that. I've had a stopwatch for a while until I understand the controls. Pretty simple, really. I use the tape measure to find out how high the table is. Anyway, the table's underside is 91 centimeters from the floor. I pick up a test tube. It's not glass. Maybe some kind of high density plastic or something? It certainly didn't break when it fell 3 feet to a hard surface. Anyway, whatever it was made of, it's dense enough for air resistance to be negligible. I lay it on the table, ready the stopwatch. I push the test tube off the table with one hand and start the stopwatch in the other. I time how long it takes to hit the ground. I get about 0.37 seconds. That's pretty darn fast. I hope my reaction time isn't skewing the results. When I've done the time on my arm with a pen, I haven't found any paper yet. I put the test tube back and repeat the test. This time I get 0.33. I do it 20 times total, noting the results to minimize the effects of my error margin in starting stopping the timer. Anyways, I end up with an average of 0.348 seconds. My arm looks like a math teacher's chalkboard, but that's okay. 0.348 seconds. Distance equals 1/2 acceleration times time squared. So acceleration equals 2 times distance over time squared. These formulas come easily to me. Second nature. I'm definitely skilled at physics. Good to know. I run the numbers and come up with an answer I don't like. The gravity in this room is too high. It's 15 meters per second when it should be 9.8. That's why things falling feel wrong to me. They're falling too fast. That's why I'm so weak despite these muscles. Everything weighs 1.5 times as much as it should. This is like thing is nothing affects gravity. You can't increase or decrease it. Earth's gravity is 9.8 meters per second, period. I'm experiencing more than that. There's only one possible explanation. I'm not on Earth. Okay, that's chapter 1. I'm gonna do I think I'll do separate recordings for each chapter. So that's chapter 1. I hope to see you in chapter 2. Love you.